Welcome back to Global Oak Media. Now today we're going to be looking at compositing green screen footage in virtual or virtually created environment. Now we are going to go through a simple VFX breakdown of how I created the shot that you saw in the beginning of this video. I'll play it again at the end of it, and today we're just going to go through how I did the keying, the shooting, the creation of the virtual environment in Blender, and then later composited it and graded it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is bring your footage into whichever software you're comfortable at. When it comes to keying out green screen, there are a lot of softwares that you can use. You can even use Blender itself, but I'm going to do it in After Effects. And yeah, so once you have your video recorded, or your video shot on a green screen, you want to have it as clean or as well lit as possible. This should make the process of you keying out your subject and separating them from your background and exporting it as an alpha much easier, because it's that alpha that we're going to import into Blender with an add-on known as images as plane, and then we're going to build an entire environment around it. Okay, so once you have your green screen shot footage in After Effects, what you want to do is you want to go to the search menu and you want to bring in key light. Right, so once you do, you drag your key light, you put it on your footage, and you might, depending on how yours was shot, you might have to duplicate the footage a few times just so you can create masks around different parts of your footage and key them out separately, because different parts require different levels of keying out, just so you can get a final clean key. So for example, this one of the masks I'm going to make is obviously going to be the general one. So we are going to go here, and we just need to key this out. Okay, so once you have your footage keyed and exported as an image sequence or a PNG sequence, what we're going to do next is jump directly into Blender, and this is the default scene that Blender, when you open Blender for the first time, this is exactly what you're going to see. And we just press A and delete everything, because this now gives us the area or the room where we want to do our modeling and the creation of our 3D environment. So first thing, go to edit, go to preferences, go to add-ons, and you just want to make sure that you have images as planes enabled. You also are going to need a few more. For example, there's the Node Wrangler add-on. That is what I was looking for. Just make sure the Node Wrangler add-on is enabled. It's going to make it easier for you when it comes to texturing your environment and making sure that everything just looks right. So what we're going to do is we are going to add a mesh, add a plane, and we are going to scale our plane to the x-axis, say 10 meters, and then scale it on the y-axis about 8 meters. So this becomes our floor. This is where we are going to put our character. This is the scene that we are creating for them. So press tab, go into edit mode, then you want to select you want to press 2, select this edge, and you want to press E to extrude, Z on the Z axis, and extrude it to about 4 meters. 4 meters, and then you want to do the same on the other end. Just the size of whatever room you want. That is what we are doing right now. So select all, Control A. Okay, go back to object mode, select all, Control A, and apply all transform. So once that is done, what we essentially have here is our room, which is what we want to work with. Okay, so find a good angle. So I'm going to move mine somewhere here. This is the angle that I'm going to go for, and you can get as creative as you want at this point. So you go to your face select mode. While in the edit mode, you go to the face select tab, and you can select this side of the wall. Press I to insert, and then E to extrude outside. Not too much, just okay, that's too far. Just okay, undo that. E to extrude, just extrude it a bit. I to insert, just a little bit. E to extrude this out. No, that's too far. Don't know what's happening. Okay. So that becomes one of the walls. Then you want to select this other side. I to insert. Then once we do that, I want this side to be a window. So what I'm going to do is right click and subdivide. Then we're going to come to this drop down menu down here, and we want to add the number of subdivisions. This is purely according to your taste. So yeah, that looks that looks good to me. Tweak the settings. You can tweak the settings as much as you want, because this is the scene that you're creating. Now once that is done, I'm going to go to faces, then I'm going to go to wireframe, and this allows me to create kind of the holders, something like that. Looks fine to me. And so now this becomes the side where I'm going to add another plane and make it the window. you know. I already did this in the original file, so I'm not going to go through how I made everything exactly, but this is just a quick guide to how you can go ahead and do that. So once you have this done, you want to go and perhaps do your lighting right now. So what we can do is we can go back to 2, select this edge, extrude up on the Z, 4, select this edge, extrude up on the Z, 4. And so once we have this big room, we want to fill this up, and now we have our ceiling. And so if you go back inside right here, you can press tab to go back to object mode, then shift A and add a new camera, then move, or rather navigate to where you want your camera to be. So somewhere like here, and then you just press Alt and numpad 0 to place your camera to that specific angle. Okay, so now once we have our camera, you want to select your camera, press N to bring in this tab bar, go to item, and you just want to level out everything apart from the Z rotation. You might want to lift this up a bit. Perhaps we can change this to 0, lift this up. Okay, so now we rotate it completely the other side, bring it back, and now you have this as your camera angle. So the other thing that you're going to need to do is go to the green camera over here. Once you select your camera, it's going to pop up on the side menu, and you want to put in the focal length that you shot your green screen video on. And once you do that, you can now import your image as a plane to this environment. So you want to go ahead and add in as much detail as you want to your environment. You can add the glass, you can texture it, you can do everything you want. So actually, let's just do that, do the lighting. Okay, so once you have everything set up, what you want to go in and do is, cover your lighting. I'm simply using one light that I made, which is, acting as the sun, which is reacting to the bars and creating those nice shadows as you see. You can come here to the left and you can increase the strength to say 10. You can even change the color, make it a bit warm. So yeah, something like that is fine. And so just with the HDRI and one simple light, I've already set up my lighting. Obviously we're going to work in Eevee because it's easier to render this. Or obviously if you want to export in Eevee, you'll have to come back here to render, and you have to add things like ambient occlusion, bloom, and everything else here. So once you have this done, what you want to do is go ahead and set up your 3D scene by populating it and putting everything that you need depending on the vision that you had. There are a couple of websites that offer free 3D, not just 3D materials and objects that you can use to populate your scene with. So go ahead, find them, populate your scene, and once you do that, we'll come back and we'll see, how it looks. I'm not going to do it right now because I already did, and this is, a quick breakdown of how I created the effect itself. So I'm going to open up that project, and then I'm going to explain how it is that we came to the final result. Okay, as you can see right now, this is a similar room like the one we just created. The only difference is now I have a few things inside, including our green screen footage that I've built this room around. So I'm just going to hide the roof here for a minute just so we can look inside. This is in the material preview, of course, so just so we can look inside. And the thing is, you don't have to model everything by yourself. The only things I modeled in this particular scene, this couch that you can see she's sitting on. I then got the pillows from a free 3D site, and then I brought them in and I used the same material and applied it on the couch. The only other thing that I also quickly modeled was this bar that could have extra stools that people could sit on. Yeah, so that's about all I really modeled when it comes to the things that you see right now in this scene. Everything else I got from the online library that I was telling you about. And so as you can see, if you move very, very close to the video or the one that we exported, you can see that it is a 2D plane, because it is a 2D plane. As you can see, it's a 2D plane. So what you want to do is make sure that your camera is always facing your subject. That way you maintain the illusion that she's actually in this environment. So you can finish populating your scene. You can even add an understandable animation on the camera. As you can see, a simple pull back animation like this, a simple pullback animation like that. You can if we go to the render tab over here, you can see how it looks. I can unhide the roof and you can see how the scene itself looks. All I really added was this this cube. If you go to Shift A, we have to go to object mode, select this, Shift A, go to light probes. I added this reflection cube map and then irradiance volume, just so I can bake in the indirect lighting, because I'm currently using Eevee to render out this scene. But as you can see, I also imported a couple of lights that I duplicated over the back wall and then added a point light to them, gave them an emission, and as you can see, they act as the bulbs or the backlight. You can see they can reflect on everything, including on her. You can see we have the blue and all of that, and this just helps to sell the effect as if she's really in this cafe. So the way you're going to place, if we go back to our solid view, we can remove the x-ray. If we come back to this, as you can see, this is the plane. This is now the footage. If we go here, we can go to textured. This allows us to work still in solid mode, but now we can see a lot of what we are doing in here. And as you can see, she's still a plane. So the way you do that is you come back here and you want to go to file, you want to come to Shift A, and then you go to Image, and then Images as Planes. Once you've activated it in the Edit and then the Preference, like I told you to, you press Image, then you go and find where you've saved your image sequence. Then you want to select all of them. Press A to select all of them. Tick the image sequence, and you can leave everything else. Either way, you can always change it, but the one thing that I usually do from here is make the blending mode hashed and the shadow also hashed. Depending on the scene that I'm with, I usually go with either principled or emits. And then once that is done, you want to press import as a plane, and what that does, it brings you this image as a plane, or the sequence itself as a plane, and you can set your scene frames down here in the timeline. And then all you have to do from that point is basically position your character where you want them to be. And the other thing that you want to do is make sure that their rotation is always facing the camera. Always facing the camera. That helps you in maintaining the illusion that this is indeed a 3D environment. So once you do this, you can go ahead and render out your image sequence. You can go ahead and render out your image sequence. To do that, you just come to the side panel, go to your outputs, scroll all the way down, and you want to set here. You can do OpenXLR, multi-layer, if you just to make the compositing stage easier. What this does, it allows you to render out. If you come here, it allows you to render out different passes. So you can do the combined, you can do the mist, which is the volumetrics that we added. You can do the lights. You can do all of this. You can do all of this, and all of them will come in separate layers. So once you have that, you obviously take it back to After Effects, and that's where you do your final composition and your grade, and you have your final image. So that's it for today. That's it for the breakdown of the scene. If you have any questions, leave them in the description. If you want me to make a video explaining any other part that I might have missed or went through fast, let me know, and I'll see you on the next video.